Hello, Facebook friends. So when I make these videos, I just want you guys to know that I pray before I make these videos, and I ask God to give me the words and to tell me what I need to say and what I need to speak on when I make these videos. And I just ask Him to lay it on my heart so that I can hopefully reach out to somebody that's looking for these answers, or that needs to hear these things. So what I feel like I needed to talk about today is why diets fail. Okay, why do diets fail? What sparked this in my mind was I had a friend call me last night. She FaceTimed me actually, and you know who you are. I'm not going to put you on blast because of course I appreciate your friendship and I respect your privacy, but we got to talking, and she was like, Morgan, I've been on this diet, and I've been on this thing where I have to eat meal plan where I have to eat like 5 or 6 times a day, and I have to replace 2 of my meals with a shake or whatever. And she was like, I'm starving. She was like, I don't look forward to doing it. Like, I have no motivation to continue doing this crazy diet. And I told her, I said, girl, let me tell you something. The reason diets don't work is because nobody wants to be told that they can't have something, okay? Nobody wants to eliminate bread, pasta, chocolate. Nobody wants to completely eliminate these things from their diet for an extended period of time. Maybe short term, sure, sure. I may be able to eliminate those things from my diet for a short period of time, but eventually I'm gonna be introduced to those things again. I'm gonna be exposed to those things, and I'm naturally gonna crave them, and I'm gonna want them just because I've simply told myself you can't have these things. So I think that's a huge reason why a diet, so-called diet, fails, is because think about it. You get invited to a birthday party and you're on this diet and you're not supposed to have sweets, okay? So you go to this birthday party, and the whole time you're in this like isolation, in this bubble, and you don't even realize it maybe, but you're standoffish, or you're not really enjoying yourself because all you can think about the whole time is, oh my gosh, I just want a freaking piece of cake. And that just makes for such an awkward situation, because people are offering you things and you're saying, no, I can't have it because then I'm on this diet. You tell them, oh, I'm on this diet, and then people are like, oh, what kind of diet are you on? Why are you on a diet? You don't need to be on a diet, blah, 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 blah. And you get all this input from all these people, and it just creates this snowball effect of, why am I even doing this to begin with? Why can't I have a piece of cake? And I told my friend yesterday, I said, I think everything in life is about balance, okay? 90% of the time, I eat whole foods. I focus on getting in fruits and vegetables and proteins and all my micronutrients and my fiber and all those things, so that when I am in a social situation where someone is offering me a piece of cake, or I have a girlfriend call me and say, hey, let's go eat Mexican, I'm like, heck yeah, let's go eat some Mexican. I can do that. Eat the piece of cake, but don't eat the whole cake. Just have one piece. Or, go get Mexican, and instead of eating the whole bucket of chips and cheese dip and an entree, pass on the chips and enjoy the entree that you want. And I want people to understand that you don't have to eliminate things completely from your diet. It's about balance, and it's about finding what works best for you, because you're not going to be able to stick to anything if you're not happy. If you're not happy and you feel like you're missing out on things, you're not going to stick to something. And I believe there are many layers to health, and our physical health is just as important as our mental health, our social health. All these layers affect each other. So I told her, I'm like, this boils down to having control over our food choices. And I can speak on this firsthand because in the past, I have been a binge eater, okay? So that means that I would tell myself, oh my gosh, Morgan, you have to stick to this strict meal plan, and you cannot divvy from this meal plan. You know, you can't, you have to do what's on paper, and you have to. And I was miserable. So eventually I was just like, screw this, forget this. I'm gonna eat whatever I want. And I would go and make cookies, and I would eat the whole pan of cookies. The whole pan, okay? Or I'd go buy potato chips, and I'd eat the whole bag. Not a handful, the whole bag of potato chips. And I slowly started to realize that since I had been supplementing, you know, some things into my diet, I'll touch on that in a second as to why I think supplementation in our diet is so important. But I began adding places to my diet and becoming aware of the things that I was craving and wanting on a daily basis. But since I've taken control of my gut health, what I have come to realize is that I have control. I have control of my food choices, okay? You can set a pan of cookies down in front of me, and I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna eat one. I might even eat two, okay? But I'm not gonna eat the whole pan because I don't want the whole pan. It's simply that it's a matter of I don't want it. I don't crave that anymore because I'm getting my nutrients and what my body needs from whole food sources. And then in return, I'm still splurging on things that I love and things that I like to eat and things that you shouldn't have to give up because it's life. You gotta live your life, guys. You gotta live your life. You cannot just be on the strict diet your entire life, okay? But I've really realized that I have control, and I'm not a binge eater anymore. I'm not an emotional eater. I'm not one of those people that goes to a social event and I'm like, I wish I could have a piece of cake, or I wonder what everybody's gonna think if I go up to the table and get another plate of food, or I'm just gonna eat because everybody else is eating and because I feel awkward, you know, in this social situation, and so I'm gonna just keep stuff in my face so I don't have to talk to anybody. Or maybe you're a stress eater. Maybe you are under a lot of stress and you're not even really hungry and you don't realize you're eating, but you just eat to mask feelings. Or, I mean, I could go on. I could make a whole nother video about this, and you know, eating disorders and that sort of thing. And you know, I don't want you to become so obsessed with your foods that you let it take over your life, because that's not healthy. It's not. So with all that being said, the reason I think supplementation in your diet is so important is because, for one, we have a lot of mineral and vitamin deficiencies. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm anemic, or oh, I'm deficient in this vitamin, or I'm deficient in that vitamin, or whatever. And I think that stems from the fact that our soil, you know, is completely depleted of its natural nutrients and vitamins and minerals, because over the years people have used so many chemicals on the soil, and you know, things like Roundup and pesticides and things like that, that we've killed the good stuff in our soil. So even though you're eating these whole foods, you can't get all the vitamins and nutrients and minerals that you need from whole foods anymore without supplementation, because we have depleted our soil. And I think that's really important for people to understand as well. And let me just throw this out there. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm in no way, shape, or form certified to tell you what you should and shouldn't be eating, because we all come from a different background. There's not one diet that fits everybody. There's not one supplementation program that will fit into everybody's lifestyle. We all have these different factors that come into play, okay? We all come from a different background. We've all been exposed to different things in our lives. So I'm simply just a mom that enjoys researching. I enjoy reading, and I enjoy learning, and I enjoy adding these like healthy habits into my lifestyle that I have seen affect me positively, and in turn I want to tell other people about it, and I want to teach other people, and I want to show other people. And it's really just something that I love, and it's something that I'm passionate about, and it's something that a lot of people don't maybe understand. You may even think I'm crazy, and that's okay too, because I feel like God places these things on my heart, and I need to talk about them, and I need to discuss them, and I need to get them out there, and let my friends, I need you to be aware of these things, because the last couple of years I've had so many people come up to me and say, Morgan, you are like a completely different person since the last time I saw you. What are you doing? You are so happy and so bubbly, and you have all this energy, and you just radiate. And I can honestly say that has stemmed from just making healthy choices over the years. And it's nothing that nobody else has taught me. It's things that I've taught myself, and things that I have researched and I have read. I've read countless books. I've read countless articles on the internet. The internet is your best friend. As many people as people try to say that it's evil, yes, I do think it can be, but okay, I'm getting off subject. Anyways, I research constantly. I'm constantly learning, and I yearn. I want to learn, and I want to know how certain foods affect us, and how they are, how they can affect, how what we eat affects everything else that we do in life. So, guys, I just want you to know that if you're on a diet, don't feel like you have to stick to this diet, because you're not. You got to find self-worth within. You got to find it yourself. You can't go on this diet and think that because you're going on this diet and you're going to lose 20 or 30 pounds that you're automatically going to find happiness, because that's not where happiness lies. Happiness lies within you, okay? And I think that implementing healthy habits into our lives it's super important. But don't let it take over your life to the point that you're missing out on things, because that's what life is about. Life is about going to birthday parties and having a piece of cake, okay? Life is about going out with your girlfriends and eating junk food, and having a slumber party and splurging on popcorn and Reese's Pieces. I mean, that's what life is about. And everybody just needs to find balance and find what works for them, because when people try to sell you and tell you that, oh, you should do this meal plan, or that's great. If that is what works for you, you do that, and you focus on it, and you do what makes you feel good. But there's not one thing that fits everyone. There's not just one solution that works for everybody. So you have to find what works for you. I have found what works for me, and all I want to do is share that with other people. And I feel like that's what I've been put here to do, and it's so awesome, and I get so pumped when I make these videos. My husband is like, Morgan, your videos are way too long. Nobody's gonna watch the entire video. And I'm like, I can't help it. I can't help it. God has laid these things on my heart, and I feel like I need to talk about them, and I need to get them out there. So God bless you. If you watched this entire video, thank you. Thank you for listening to me rant and ramble, and I hope that somebody today gets something out of this video.